Alright, hello everyone, this is Team Rocket Draw, also known as 707 Rose Town, with another Pokemon tutorial. And this time we're going to draw a Primal Groudon. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen. That way you guys can look at the details, and that way you guys can know where everything's supposed to go. And just overall, just make it easier. So just keep in mind that he's not going to end up looking like the reference 100%, since I am trying to simplify it in a way, and I'm trying to make a tutorial of it, you know. So it all depends. Like, you guys could actually make it the same, but it all depends on how much you guys want to put into the drawing. So yeah, so first of all, we're just gonna start by doing like this oval shape, and we're gonna do a lot of these oval shapes, and that's just to help us place everything. So now we're just gonna split it halfway, and then we're gonna do it the other way. And as you guys can see, I don't do it exactly in the middle now that I'm looking at it, but it really doesn't matter, but it may matter later on. But you guys could always make changes, you know. So now we're gonna do another oval shape, and this one's gonna be a little bit on its side, as you guys can see right here. And just try to make it the same size as the first one that we did. And the closer you guys get them the same, the easier it'll be once we start doing the actual drawing, you know. Because we're basing everything off these shapes. So the better you guys make it, the better it'll be. And then for this right here, just do an extra line like this. And now we're gonna do another one right under that oval shape, and it's gonna be going across the whole paper, and that's just to help us place the rest, you know. So now I was just pointing out right there that the gap right here that this one makes, do it on this side, you know. It should be like the same gap on that side. And we're gonna do another line on top of that oval shape, going across the paper, and that's just gonna help us place this oval shape, which is, we're gonna do another one. And once again, it should be the same size, so I at least try to make it the same size as the other ones. And those lines that we did going across the page will help us do it, you know. And remember to make it to look at the gap, you know. And then right here, just do a small gap right there, and then right here at the top of this oval shape, but not exactly at the top, as you guys can see. It's below the top of the oval shape. We're just gonna extend this line right here, and as you guys can see, it's not a straight line. It kind of goes straight at the top, and then it curves down a little bit. And then this one, we're just gonna go down like that, and then around here under that one, we're just gonna connect it like this. So this is probably gonna be one of the hardest spots or things. It's just trying to get this shape right here. And then right here, look at the gap, and once again try to make it the same gap away from that oval. And then we're just gonna do this over here, and it's almost like another oval shape, but the bottom is fairly flat, you know. And then I think I do make it into an oval shape. So once again, try to make it into an oval shape, like the other ones. And now we're gonna get a gap, so around that far away, and do a line. We're gonna use that same line that we did under the oval shapes to start it off. So just look at the gap, look how far it is from the other oval shape, and then use that same guideline, the line that we did going across the paper from the bottom of the other two oval shapes to do this one. And once again, try to make an oval shape, and just try to make it, I believe this one's a little bit bigger than the other ones. You guys could make it the same size, but I believe it's a little bit bigger. And as you guys can see, it goes further than the one on the right. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And then we're just gonna extend this line a little bit like that. And once again, you guys can use those lines going across the paper, just to make it that more easier. That way you guys can know where it should roughly be, you know. And then around here, that's how far it is from that oval shape. We're just gonna extend it this way. We're not gonna go that far, you know, because in the end I do go back and I change that. And maybe you guys are gonna start noticing what it is. It's supposed to be Groudon is like the overall shape of Groudon. For example, right here it's like the tail. And right here I'm just doing a rough sketch of it, you know. If it doesn't look right, we could always go back and change it. And one of the things that didn't work out was the tail, so I do go back and I change that later on. But for now, we could get like a rough sketch of it. And I think I didn't place it in the right spot. It should be a little bit lower than that, because if you guys notice, it almost touches the top of the other line going across the paper of the arms, or on the circles, the oval shapes. So I do go back and I change that. Yeah, the tail should be a little bit lower than that, and I do change that. So just try to make it a little bit lower. You know, you guys could make it further down than I did it. I curved it up too much, in other words, and I do go back and I change that. And remember not to press that hard, because we are gonna be doing some erasing, especially if you guys don't like how something turns out. There's gonna be some erasing, so don't press that hard. That way the lines could erase completely. And now this is gonna be, maybe you guys can see the overall shape now of Groudon. So right here we're gonna start by doing one of the arms, or the hands I mean. So we're gonna just cut the bottom of this oval shape, as you guys can see, and then from there, that's gonna be where the claw starts. So it's just to help us, like a rough outline. And now we're gonna do this circle right here, and as you guys can see, it's pretty small compared to the oval. It's not that big, and that's just gonna be the details, you know. So we're just gonna be placing small things here and there, just to make it easier once we start adding all those small details, and hopefully it starts adding up. And then over here it's around there, which is a little bit smaller than the one that we did on the hand, and then we're gonna do another one over here. And as you guys can see, this one is almost in the middle. It's a little bit, it should be a little bit higher than the middle, and I think I do this one too big, but like I said, I do go back and I changed it. I believe once I start like fixing the leg, I changed it, because this is just a rough like sketch of it, and then once we start doing the actual drawing, we can make any changes, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly like we're drawing it now. Alright, so now for right here, we're just gonna curve it a little bit like that. Just do like half a circle almost, and do these little lumps that meet up with the oval shape. And now we're just gonna curve it in a little bit, and then we're just gonna go, it's gonna be touching that circle that we did. And I did a big mistake right here. It shouldn't go over like that. It should be touching the circle. It should go into the circle. It shouldn't go, there shouldn't be a line going over like I did here. It doesn't have that on the reference, and the reason that I did that is because when I'm doing the drawing, I'm looking at a reference, right? I'm looking at it, but I have it on my tablet, and it's fairly small, and especially Groudon, since he's fairly long on my screen, he ends up being shorter than I normally would make him, you know. So small things like that wasn't really visible for me, so I might make a mistake here and there, but that's why you guys have the reference, you know. And from there we're just gonna do this line like this, curved a little bit, and that's just gonna be like the chest area. And now we're gonna do this like the black part of his hand, and as you can see, it's not that big, it's pretty small, and it's kind of like a moon shape in a way. And then we're gonna do the other one, the red one, which goes and touches the hand. So just look at the reference, look at my drawing, and look where everything connects, you know. And then we're just gonna do a line from there to the middle of the oval shape that we did. And as you guys can see, it's a fairly straight line, and that's just gonna help us place the spikes that he has on the neck. And now for the head, we're gonna start doing it. So a little bit under the middle line, we're just gonna do another line like this. We're just gonna extend it, and the further it goes to the right, the lower it gets, but it's not by that much. So then we're just gonna extend this line, and it should be almost at the same level as the oval shape, just a little bit lower. So then it goes up to the side around here, and it should make this like rectangle shape, like almost like the straight line going up, as you guys can see right here. So then around here, like in the middle of the first section of the oval, it curves a little bit, and then around here in the middle of the oval shape, it goes at an angle right here, and then it just right in the middle of the oval shape it goes up, you know, and it goes on this angle. So I recommend that you guys really pay close attention to where I'm placing all these lines, where I start them, where I finish them, the angle that they go, because that really matters, you know, when you guys are doing a drawing. So we're just gonna do that line right there, and then right here I actually make it too far away from the oval shape. So I do change it in a little bit, but basically, so right now you guys could just make it closer to the oval shape, you know, it's too far away. I did it too far away. So we're just gonna curve it and do two curved lines like this, and then I do a line going on top like that, and that's just gonna help us place the other spikes that he has on the head. Alright, so now it has a small gap in between that one and the other line, and then we're gonna go up to the middle line. And if it doesn't add up the same for you guys can make any changes, you know, look at the reference, and as long as it looks close to the reference, you guys can make any changes. It doesn't have to end right there or start right there in the oval shape. It's just to make it easier. So then it just goes like that, and that's where the eye's supposed to be. So it might not be on the same areas on the oval shape for you guys, so that's why I said to make any changes, just so it could look like that, you know, on your drawing. And yeah, this is where I erased that line, because I saw that it was too far away and it was gonna make the head really big, you know. So I just made it a little bit closer, and then around there we're just gonna curve. As you guys see, it's pretty curved, and then we're just gonna do this one, which is almost, I was gonna say twice as long as the first one, but yeah, it is pretty far away. It's pretty long. So now this one we're gonna curve it up like this, and right in the middle is where it curves up, and then right in the middle right here in this point, we're just gonna curve it up once again, a little bit, not that much, but we are. And just look how far it gets to the corner of where the eye should be. So curve it like this, and right here I just do a line just to help us do the other ones, so you guys could just do a straight line going across right there, and then just connect it with the other one, you know, and try to make that section even. And then and yeah, so that's gonna give us a part of the head. And now right here we can erase those reference lines, that way they won't get in the way, they won't be that confusing, you know. We don't need these no more, you know, since we already got the first one and the other one. Now we could just base the ones inside off the other ones. And then right here I started doing one of the eyes, so just look at how far the eye is from all the different sections, you know. Just don't just put the eye, you know, where you think it goes. Look at how far it is from everything else, you know. Pay close attention how far it is to the right of the eye, to the left of the eye, under the eye, and it'll just help you place it a little bit more better. So this one's a little bit higher, as you guys can see, not by that much, but it is a little bit higher. And as you guys can see, it curves in a little bit. And I erased the line right there that we did before, but I redo it, you know, and that's just gonna help us know where to curve the line again, as you guys can see right here. So he does have 4 of them, so we just need 2 more. So this one's a little bit higher, and then once again we're gonna use that line that we did to know where to curve it again, you know. And there we go, and they all point to the middle of the corner right there, and then just connect the other one. And it'll give you the top of his head, you know. And like I said, it's not that perfect, but later on I do, and I make any small changes, like just make it look more natural, you know, in other words. So now that we got that, we can start doing the mouth, and actually do the mouth wrong, because like I said, I can't really see the mouth since it is so small. The drawing the reference is so small for me. You guys have it on screen, you know, and it's pretty big on the screen, so it's gonna be a lot more easier for you guys. But for me right here, I actually make it too big, and as you guys can see, we're using that oval shape that we did at the beginning to make it, but like I said, I make it to the left part, I make it too like thick, you know. And then around here, this is where it goes downward, like right under the eye. So right here I'm just erasing the lines in the inside. Maybe you guys could look at the reference to get a better idea of how it should look like. And then he has the teeth around here. Like this line is, yeah, it's not in the right spot because it should be like literally facing the middle where the no, what is that called? Like the thing that goes down the side of his cheek, the section that goes down. It should be like right in the corner over there. So I do erase the mouth and I do it later on. So maybe you guys want to wait for this, you know. I'm not sure if I do it on screen, but as you guys can see, I stopped doing it just because I couldn't see it, so I didn't want to do anything because it wasn't looking right. So now a little bit higher than that circle that we did, like the shoulder, we're just gonna do another line because they shouldn't be touching. So then around here, we're gonna use that line that we did to make to know where to put the middle of the spikes. So basically just do like two straight lines and then just curve the bottom. It's almost like a triangle shape, but the bottom's curved, you know. And just try to, it has 3 of them, so just try to make them all fit. As you guys see right there, I made them too small, so I had to erase them just so I could fit all 3 of them. So it might take you a few tries just to get them the right size, but once you guys do it, it's a lot easier, you know. And so as you guys can see, it goes, the point of this one goes a little bit over the shoulder if you guys look at the reference. So that's what I tried to do here. And then right here I'm just trying to make them the same size, but like I said, it might take a few tries. It took me about 3 or 4 tries, I believe, to get them. And then this one goes over a little bit on the other one, and then this one also goes a little bit over the other one. So that's one of those things that you guys could base it on. And as you guys can see, the last one, the one that's on the face, is too small. It's the smallest one, so that's why I just made it a little bit shorter now. So like I said, it might take you a few tries, but just keep that in mind that each one should go over the other one a little bit, like the point only. So as you guys can see, it barely goes over the other one. And once again, they're literally just like really long triangles, but the bottom is curved, it's round. There we go, and it looks a little bit more better. Maybe you guys can make it better than that, but like I said, this is more of a rough sketch. Later on, I do go back and I erase all the lines, and they're still visible, and then I just I make any changes, you know, to finish it off. But the better you guys make it now, the easier it'll be once you guys finish the drawing. So now right here, we're just gonna do another line going around the circle, and just try to make it parallel to the circle. There we go. And I believe I do finish yeah, I think that's where I changed the size of it because it looked really big, you know, and it shouldn't be that big. And now I believe I just finished off the circle. Yeah, so just try to make it parallel, you know, all the sides should be even. It's like the letter O. And then right here, not in the middle, a little bit to the left of the middle and a little bit to the right, we're just gonna do these 2 lines going down. And then right here where it makes this like how should I say, like the top of a house. Watch, you guys will know what I'm talking about right now. As you guys can see, like these really long tall houses. I don't know if you guys ever made houses as a kid that you guys would make squares, and then the top you guys would just point them out. So yeah, so as you guys see, the top is just like, it ends like a point, like an arrow almost. And then just do a line on top on each side right here. Maybe you guys could do it better, you have your own way of doing this, but basically that's just gonna be like the lava that shows on the leg, you know. And then we could just erase those lines from the circle, and that will give us the shape. And then just do the same thing on this side. But remember to try to make them like the same gap, like the same length as the other ones. So as you guys can see, it's almost the same on the other one. And then right here, just do this line right here. So just, yeah, right here, this was pointing out to make them the same thickness. Because if you do one way smaller than the other leg, it's just not gonna look right. It's just gonna look a little bit weird. And then this one barely shows. And then just round off the leg right there. and then just erase the lines right there, and it'll give you guys the shape. Alright, so now that we got that, as you guys see, starting to take shape, now we can fix a little bit of the stomach. I don't know if I do the stomach or not. No, I guess not. I guess what are we gonna do? I guess I do one of the spikes. So just look at the reference where it goes, where it starts, and it starts around here, and the point should be like at the end of the outline of the body, and then it has another one around here. So just look at the reference, you know, make sure pay attention to how far it is, and once again, these spikes should be the same size as the ones on the neck. So just keep that in mind while you guys are doing it. Roughly, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the better you guys make it, the more it will look like Groudon. So I guess this is part 1, you guys. We'll do part 2. Part 2 will be on the link at the end of this video. There will be a link to part 2. So yeah, so hopefully you guys go to it. But before you guys go to part 2, make sure to leave a like if you guys are attempting to draw Groudon, Primal Groudon. That just will let me know how many people are actually trying to draw them. So don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos. Alright, I'll catch you guys on part 2, guys.